Hey guys, how are you? Welcome into the Tuesday morning edition of the Daily Juice podcast with me, Matt Perrault. At Sports Talk Matt is my Twitter handle. At BettingPros NFL is the handle for BettingPros. We are here every morning on BettingPros, on YouTube, and wherever you get your podcasts for audio. And we're also being brought to you by BetMGM. You guys can use the promo code JUICE100, $20 wager. Get you $100, win or lose, $100 in free wagers from BetMGM with a new account using the promo code JUICE100. Okay, so here's where I am today. You will probably notice this will hit your feed a little bit earlier than what normally happens. So it is 7:40 on the East, 7:40 Pacific time, 10:40 on the East Coast. So we are watching the Dodgers and the Pirates. We are watching the Giants and the Mets. If both those two teams win, we hit the parlay, and I hit a parlay for a 7th consecutive day. Now, it's no score in the third and no score in the second in those two games. So we're a ways away from cashing. But the Reds were the third leg of that plus 206 parlay that I put out on the Discord channel, which is why you should be in the Discord channel. That's where I'm posting a lot of picks and plays. Somebody asked in the comment section on YouTube, why do you give picks on the Discord channel? Because I want you on the Discord channel. It's a free service. It's not like I'm asking you to pay for anything. It's my way of interacting, and I can make wagers during the day. This is an overnight podcast. I can't always get everything I want from either a number perspective or an injury perspective or a lineup perspective. And so having the Discord channel allows me to tell you guys and to inform you and to let everyone know who's a member, which is about 7,200 of you. Hey, this is what I'm betting. Now, you can fade or follow. You don't have to follow it. You can fade it. But that's why I say in the Discord channel. So just FYI, that's a big reason why I go on there. Now, here's where I am coming up today and why I'm taping this early. So in 2021, we are constantly dealing with stress and anxiety, and it's just a hard time. So my daughter is sick. Now, my daughter is 7 years old. She went to school for the first time on Wednesday. My daughter has a pretty nasty cold. Now, right, it's COVID, right? COVID time. Well, she's had COVID. So we took her today to get a rapid test, and it came back negative. So she took a PCR test as well, and we are waiting. I'm vaccinated. My wife is vaccinated. My daughter cannot be back. She's 7, so she cannot get the vaccine, unfortunately. So when they approve it for kids, my daughter will take the vaccine, but she can't take the vaccine. So it's been a really long day, and I have to help my wife because we're expecting potentially a long night again. I was up 5 times last night. It was not fun. And if you have a child who can't breathe out of their nose because they're so congested, you kind of know what that's like. She took 2 showers overnight trying to get rid of the gunk in her nose, and it was just tough. I was up at 1, 3, 5, 7. It was just brutal. So in case I have to go through that again, I'm going to tape that here, and I'm going to go to bed. And I'm going to try to get some sleep, and hopefully when I wake up, my kid will be better, and it'll be okay. I've got, you guys, if you've been listening to the podcast, you know what's coming up. I've got a bachelor party on Thursday and Friday and Saturday. I've been talking to the groom the entire time saying, hey, look, this is where I'm at. He's supposed to stay here on Wednesday. We're golfing on Thursday, and he's vaccinated, and his brothers are vaccinated, so they're like, look, we're okay with it. And, if she got the rapid test and says she's negative, we feel comfortable coming in and staying for a night, and then they go to the strip on Thursday night. So, it's concerning because coming to Vegas is already kind of a gamble. Going out in Vegas is a gamble, and just to add this on top of it, that my daughter's in school, and, this is the first time these kids have been around large groups of other children in over a year. So it's hard. And so she's fine. She has a low-grade fever of 99.3. It's been that way for about 24 hours now, so it's barely even considered a fever, just like an elevated temperature. And she has a cold, and her body's fighting something off. But in COVID time, that's all anybody talks about. Okay, your kid has the sniffles. If this was 2 years ago, this would be like, yeah, she went to school, and she started back, and that's what happens. Kids get sick when they start school, right? And we just go ahead and move on. But we can't do that with COVID because we haven't had this, and kids have been virtual, and, she's going full days now. And when they go to lunch, it's trying to have a kid keep a mask on for 8 hours that's a 7-year-old. They don't understand. It's really complicated and difficult, and it's a whole tough conversation. So that's why I'm on here early. That's why I'm giving you the plays early, and that's why I've made the bets already for today, even before we find out how good of a day it was. We're up. We're 1-0. I can tell you that. We're 1-0, and we're trending towards being 2-0 with the Rockies cashing a plus 122 money line bet. They're up 5-2 right now, so a long way to go in that game. But, up to 5-2 here at the time of taping. Let me just get a quick update. Yeah, 5-2, top of the eighth, 5-2 in that game. So trending well as long as the bullpen can hold it for the Rockies. So we'll go 2-0 there, and the quarter unit parlay still to go. So regardless, if we get that victory with the Rockies, it's a winning day regardless. So up over a unit. So that's good. So I like that a lot. Baseball has been relatively good for me over the last couple of weeks, which is kind of a funny, weird thing. And this parlay trend, if we hit it again, we'll be up like 1.7 units on the day. So got to hit it. Long way to go again, but if we hit it, that would be great. So here's what I got going for you guys today. These are all half-unit plays, and I'm gonna come back with a two-team parlay. I'm going to have that again. It's a plus 156 two-team parlay. And even if I miss that parlay, I'm still going to do these two-leg money line parlays. I'm having a lot of success with it. I'm just going to keep on fading bad teams and looking at the way these teams are playing and kind of jump in here on this. So let's start with the Blue Jays on the road at the Nationals. Blue Jays are going to throw Alex Manoah. And Manoah's been very good over the last couple of starts. Over the last 28 days, he's 3-0 with a 1.93 ERA. 3 games started, 18 and 2/3 innings, only 11 hits, only 4 earned runs have been given up by this guy. Hard-throwing rookie, has pitched very, very well for the Blue Jays, and I think he will continue to do this here against the Nationals team that I don't really like. Now, you can look at the Nationals' home record and say, Matt, this doesn't really fit what you've been doing with fading road teams. I know, but the Nationals are kind of a different animal a little bit in this. They're 50-68. They're 12.5 games out of first place. They're 29-33 at home. They're 21-35 on the road. They've lost 7 games in a row. It's not a dramatic difference with road and home splits, not like the Rockies, but they're not a good baseball team. Regardless of what the split is, the Washington Nationals are not a good baseball team. This is a 7:05 start time on the East Coast in D.C. The Blue Jays had yesterday's off, and now here they go up against Eric Fed? I don't know how to say his last name, but he's from Vegas, so I should know how to say his last name. Eric Fed, F-E-D-D-E, excuse me. So and don't ask me about last names. Obviously, I'm horrible at last names. But he's been okay, all right? He pitched against the Mets last game, 4 innings, 2 earned runs. Time before that, against the Braves, 4 2/3, 8 hits, 5 runs, 4 earned. Against the Cubs, 6-5 win, 6 innings, 4 hits, 3 earned runs. And then the Phillies, a 4 2/3, 8 hits, 4 earned runs. He doesn't really go 5, okay? Doesn't really go 5 innings. Blue Jays have a good pitcher on the mound, and the Blue Jays offense has been just phenomenal. An absolute barn burner. George Springer has been just unreal with the home runs. Vlad Guerrero has just been home runs. This offense is just so good right now, and they're just pounding the baseball, scoring a ton of runs. Beat the Mariners 8-3 in their last game. They've lost 3 of 4, which is interesting going into this, but they can hit home runs and hit the long ball a lot. I like the Blue Jays on the run line here. First 5, half a run. Same bet we made with the Reds yesterday. I'm going to come back with the Blue Jays, though. First 5, run line, Blue Jays at minus 129 to ride Alex Manoah and that offense for the Blue Jays in the first 5 here against the Nationals. A lot of times when you have a pitcher of the National League taking on an American League lineup, if he's already getting hit hard by National League lineups, American League lineups tend to just trounce them. So Blue Jays run line, first 5 at minus 129 for a half a unit. Second play, the Reds and the Cubs. I'm going to come right back here. This is a 14-5 score right now. The Reds at home are averaging over 5.5 runs per game. Okay. Now tomorrow the Reds are going to face, you could call him the best pitcher left on the Cubs. It's not saying all that much right now, but Kyle Hendricks is 13-5 with a 4.15 ERA. His last time out, though, 11 hits, 9 earned runs given up against the Brewers. The Brewers scored 17 runs in that game. Time before that, 7 hits, 2 earned runs given up. He was good against Washington, 7 innings, 1 run, But time before that against Cincinnati, these very Reds scored 5 runs against him in Cincinnati back at the end of July. 4 1/3, 9 hits, 5 earned runs. Hendricks going to the mound. Team total for the Reds is 4.5. Okay, now the over is -130. But I think that 4.5 is a little bit low given the offense and what we are seeing out of the Cincinnati Reds. This year, they're averaging over 5 runs per game. At home, they're averaging over 5.55 runs per game, and they just scored 14 runs tonight. 4.5 is juiced to -130, but we're going to go half a unit over Reds team total, 4.5 runs at -130. And again, it doesn't really matter what happens on the other side in this game. I mean, you could say, well, wait a minute, what happens if the Cubs, wind up scoring a bunch of runs against Vladimir Gutierrez? Well, Vladimir Gutierrez, and I actually don't hate, a play in the first 5. He's been good, really good. 8-3, 3.95. Vladimir Gutierrez, 1 run, 6 innings last time out. 1 run, 6 innings second time out against the Pittsburgh Pirates. 7 innings, 1 earned run against the Mets, against the Cubs. 5 hits, 2 earned runs in 6 2/3 back in July. This guy's been good. He's been really solid. A solid right-handed pitcher for the 25-year-old Gutierrez to the Reds. Well, I like that. So what am I going to do? I'm taking the Reds on the money line. But I'm taking the Reds on the money line, and I'm combining it with a 2-team money line parlay. I like Gutierrez a lot. I think the Reds win again here. At home, I don't think the Cubs have a whole lot left to play for. They are drowning. They've lost 12 games in a row now. And I like the Reds on the money line. And for the second leg, we're going to finally take what you guys have been asking me to take. You've been clamoring for the Rays and the Orioles, saying, Matt, 9-2 yesterday, Baltimore on the road. It fits all the criteria. They're awful on the road. They're drowning. John Means going up against Drew Rasmussen. So John Means not a horrible pitcher, but this Rays team at home is really hard to deal with. They're very good at home. They're very good, period. But they're very good at home, and they're tough for anyone. They're 36-22 at home. The Orioles are 21-42 on the road. The Orioles have a AAA team in a lot of ways. They're 17-37 at home, on top of being 21-42 on the road. They've lost 12 games in a row. We're making it 13 games in a row. We're going Rays money line, Reds money line for a +156 2-leg parlay for a half a unit. Okay, those are the 3 legs, the 3 bets for today. If I add, I'll add in the Discord channel, bettingpros.com/chat, or there's a link underneath me. You guys can click on it and get into the Discord channel where I do post a lot of things and talk about a lot of different bets and whatnot. It's a Wednesday. That means we're back with Thursday football coming up tomorrow with the Patriots and the Eagles for Thursday night football in week 2 of the NFL. So we got that going tomorrow. We got some baseball as well to get into. So let's see the Rockies cash this. And we're into the top of the 9th inning now, so 3 outs away from the Rockies winning and cashing that +122 money line wager for us at a half a unit, which would be great. So it guarantees a win regardless of what happens with the Pirates, Dodgers, and the Mets and the Giants, although the Mets have 2 on and 2 out in the top of the 4th inning, so they're threatening in that game, so that might be the game that burns us, but it's a quarter unit bet, and it's a 3-leg parlay. So if it hits, great. If it doesn't, I'm not going to be all that upset. It's a winning day regardless. We're back on Thursday morning, every morning. It's the Daily Juice Podcast right here on BettingPros.com, brought to you by BetMGM.